Greetings.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Welcome. Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Sup, everybody? What's today? It's the 16th.
I think it's a Saturday.
I think. Where are we? We're on the boat. Didn't sail. Not going to sail yet.
Till October, hopefully.
October.
If October is nice.
We listened. We listened to our episode, one of our episodes last night, and it's very humbling. Very humbling
really is.
experience. I don't know why anyone's listening to us. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Train wrecks.
It's just... I don't even want to listen to the other ones because they're probably just as much of a train wreck.
Yeah, we listened to the most listened one. We gave ourselves a break and did that one.
I don't know why it's the most listened. I think it's the most train wrecky because we were like exhausted and...
That was right after our sushi.
Yeah. Maybe it's everyone loves hearing about disasters. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
No.
Most of the time, it's not.
No.
You guys just get peaks.
Doom and gloom over here, guys. Doom and gloom.
All right. So, highlight, lowlight. You can't take mine, so you go first.
I can't take yours, so I gotta start. Highlight would be that it is actually starting to get cold. It's not 80 degrees anymore, which is nice because I don't like the heat and I don't like cold. I like this temperature, just like what, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, the highest it's been getting really consistently is like 71
ish.
Like the last month. It's been beautiful. And did we just get rain?
Yeah.
Sprinkled. I mean, a drizzle. It's just like a precursor to what it'll be the next
6 months.
Not really. Not
Clouds
even.
and rain and no fun.
Oh, well, it poured. It poured. What was it last? No, it was when we were on the boat 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Poured on that Sunday.
For like
4 hours. 4 hours, yeah. It was great. We were on the boat and it was very cozy. And, you know, you could just hear
no leaks.
Yeah, no leaks. That was just another weekend of not going out. We just come and like hang out on the boat.
It's crabbing season. That's why
again
people wondering, oh, what do you mean you're going out? Well, it's, I don't want to play dodge the crab pot and the fishing nets and everything else that's out there right now. So, because people love to drop shit right in our channel, which I don't see how that's legal, but whatever.
You can technically swim in that channel, so I guess anything goes.
I guess so. It's the wild, wild west out here. Low light.
Low light.
Is it weird that I can't really think of one at this moment?
Improvise.
One really doesn't come to mind.
Fine, you get a pass. If you must.
Probably think of one later.
Do you have an irrational complaint to take place?
Ooh, we're gonna start irrational complaints early. Let's go.
That could be your replacement for your low light.
Irrational complaint would have to be that I had one too.
Brain. He just woke up.
My brain is not fully booted yet. You go.
Okay.
Save me.
All right. Please save me. All right. My highlight. Oh, when did we do this? I think it was just this past week. So we realized a little while ago that we actually have an apple tree in our backyard, and it's not just crab apples. Like, most of them had fallen already in the last couple weeks, and the birds have just been going crazy in our backyard. Like, we have, like, what are they called? Hordes of crows? No, you called them something else.
Um,
You said a weird word.
It's on the tip of... Oh, murder of crows.
Murder. Yeah.
A murder of crows. That's what it's called.
Fucking crazy.
Literally, that, like, look it up. That is the definition
It's
of, like...
terrifying.
I forget what the count. It's over a certain count.
Okay, so
crows.
probably not that. Do you think it was that many? Did we really have...
Probably not,
okay.
but I think it's fun to
like...
say, so...
Murder of crows. We probably had, like, 6. But that's a lot of crows. Yeah, they were all eating the apples
And a lone seagull.
In our seagull in our backyard. So we decided, and like, this is crazy because, you know, we come from New York and they had a lot of apples.
There's apple orchards everywhere.
Yeah, like we knew. I remember learning in school, like, we were one of the apple states.
Mm-hmm.
What, Johnny Appleseed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a real person.
I don't know.
Okay,
Probably not. But
so, but like, you walk around here, like our town, and you literally smell apples.
mm-hmm.
Like, really good smelling, like, out of a candle apples. And I never had that experience where we were from. So we had just been talking about, we should, like, pick one off the tree and taste it. So we were kind of waiting because we were nervous. I was fucking nervous. I didn't want to eat, like, a worm by accident. And so he found one off our tree in the backyard.
It was pretty good size.
Yeah, it was like a normal size apple, and there were no holes in it. He cut it open, and yeah, it kind of tasted like, it gave me, what are they, Empire apple vibes.
Empire kind of vibes.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Honeycrisp,
Mm-mm.
and I haven't had too many amount of, like, different varieties of apples, but that's what it tasted like, an Empire. So that was really cool. It's just very, very sweet, and I don't know, it made me feel like a homesteader, even though we're so
Even though it's not our apple tree.
Yeah,
you know.
We're renting it. We're renting the
It's
apple tree.
technically in our backyard.
So
no one else is picking them. So.
No, and I don't understand why. Didn't you say there was another one back there too, or is that the only one?
I don't know if the tree next to it is an apple tree.
Because I remember in the beginning of spring, it had a bunch of flowers on it.
Yeah, it might be.
Really pretty.
I don't know. There's a crap ton of apples, though.
Yeah, I stepped
Just like all
over
over the ground.
And there's another apple tree.
There's
right.
one by the water.
Yeah, but in the park.
But that's like small apples,
Yeah.
though. It's not. It doesn't. I don't know if it's like the salt air, maybe like right off the
it like
water. It like diminishes. Go away.
Yeah. So that was cool. I know. It's just like, we'll try and remember if we're even here at this time next year to pick some, because why the fuck not? We won't pick a bunch. Leave some for the birds. They need them more than we do. But, okay. So then we'll go light. I mean, I had a hard time kind of thinking of one too before I was getting actually prepared, but you know, it's
Prepared with that.
it's just kind of been going on and on the last month. Just, where do I begin? So, you know, the state of our country. That's my low light, basically. You know, that's what I wrote in my notes that you saw. The country. But like, yeah, we don't have to get into politics or anything like that because it's depressing. But, you know, it's just, sometimes you need an escape and sometimes it gets you down. Like, we haven't had a lot to, it's not like we haven't had a lot to talk about, but we kind of get in like a mode of just like trying to not think about things, and escapism at its finest.
Kind of days kind of just blur together sometimes. And
yeah. So
yeah,
it's just I can't get into it because it gets me upset sometimes, and it's just really scary. The world is scary the way we're headed, but I have to believe that
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
well, regardless of what happens, we're not gonna spontaneously combust, and
Hopefully not.
even
I
though
do this because it's fun.
torment me. It's all gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what happens. So it's been like a month, but we're gonna try and record a couple times a month
Twice
again.
a month,
Twice
I think,
a month.
is what we're gonna shoot for.
For now, at least.
Yeah.
And, winter is coming, so talk about scraping the barrel. I mean, at least we can go outside and have fun and do whatever right now,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be rough.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was really only like 2 months?
January and February.
Yeah.
That was it, really.
And even it was like the beginning, because like end of February was like okay-ish.
That's when we started going to the boat.
Yeah, that was when we bought the boat.
It was
like
cold as shit
February.
walking to the marina.
Freaking 40 degrees and wind. And disgusting, but we did it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably do it again.
Yeah, just to check on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your green tech. Oh, wait, before you can get yours up, but I want to talk about Tree Card. Green tech segment. Green aura for Dustin. Woo. So, I saw this video on Instagram. Someone was talking about this new app, Tree Card. It's really cool. It counts your steps, and every time you get to 10,000 steps, it plants a metaphorical tree, but it actually plants a tree. Like they partner with
Different.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. We have a brand new sponsor. So excited. Naked Wines. I know them very well. We know them very well. I remember the first time when I was living with my mom still, we got our first box of all the different wines that we picked. And we became the house with all of the wine. We think we had a subscription for a while, and we would have like all of these like little gatherings, like family, friends. We just know we got the wine, it's covered, just bring the cheese. Like that. We were the place, all gathered in our little kitchen. So with our link, if you use our link, you're going to get $100 voucher. Hell yeah. $100 for your first box. Like, come on. That give me that. With our link, that's what you get. So go for it, guys. Enjoy. You can take a quiz, and it was really cool. I took the quiz, and it matched me with like all of these different wines. Some, like a lot of them I've honestly never even heard of. Like, we love wine over here, Dustin and I, but I've never really heard of a lot of these. There's chocolate wine. Did you know there's chocolate wine? Go for it. All right, use our link and you'll get that voucher. Have fun.
Yeah, like Ikasha or something.
Yeah.
A bunch of different companies that like are working toward the same goal of like getting more trees and shit everywhere. And I think they have a couple other projects that they do
I think so, yeah.
similar to Happy Earth, how they have
bit,
their
yeah.
like impact things.
Mhm.
But you don't have to, it doesn't cost anything.
Nope.
If you don't want to buy anything, you don't have to, but you can like, so every time, you walk 10,000 steps, you plant a tree, but each tree is worth 50 points. So your points build up, and those points, it's kind of like an arcade.
Yeah, you can spend them on like
little prizes, like like sustainable, eco-friendly chapsticks.
Well, there's also like big stuff.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, I know. Like
you
an
get
experience.
to you get to 20,000 points, and you can like
What did I see? Whitewater rafting?
There's like
or
whitewater rafting and like a treehouse thing somewhere and like
It's really cool.
all this really cool stuff that who knows how it actually works.
We'll keep you posted because we
If
walk.
yeah.
We walk a lot.
We probably plan to. I mean, if we walked every day,
10,000 steps. We could do that every day. That's like here and back to the marina. That's our 10,000 steps.
yeah, that's like it's pretty close.
We could like do an extra loop somewhere
and get 10,000. Yeah, easily.
That's insane. And
Well, you are limited.
you are
I think there's only so many trees you can plant like per day, or
day?
per
Oh,
week.
Really?
I think unless you like donate to them, then you can plant more trees or something. I think I don't remember.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, check it out. It's cool. You know, it's I like it because it's I've wanted to do something like in that direction. Because I'm really big into fitness, and I've wanted to like correlate the two together. So they fucking did it, and good for them. What's your green thing that you found a couple weeks ago?
Let's see if I can remember.
You had a picture of it.
I do have a picture of it.
Oh, but it's on your phone. Don't mind the sound effects. Sorry. But while he's looking that up,
I have it. Hang on.
You
It's
have
right here somewhere. Where is it? Hold please while
Oy
I
vey.
scroll through all my pictures.
we're so prepared. We really are.
Hey, no need to be prepared. It's for chumps.
It's for chumps.
So it's about, ready? It's very interesting, right? So, a little history lesson for everyone that doesn't know. Back in when did the Age of Sail really start? What was it? 16th century? 17th century? I think is how that works. Yes, because 1-6 and then the years is actually the same because it's like it's weird. Anyway, that's when the Age of Sail began. That's how we traveled the world, right? On tall ships, and that's how everyone got around. There was no such thing as steam engines and motors, and that wasn't a thing back then.
In the 1700s.
1600s, 1700s.
Okay.
Even to the early 1800s, like it still was predominantly sail.
Okay.
That's how goods were transported. That's how everything, And these companies have now thought of like, oh, what if we go back to that, right? But instead of cloth sails, we're going to make these metal sails. So this company called Windwing, I think they're a Chinese company. They've started outfitting these cargo ships with it. They're pretty big. They're like 123 feet tall. I'm quoting an article, by the way.
And I'll put that in our little blog.
Yeah. Made of the same material as wind turbines. This is the first real world test of the sails, which are designed to cut fuel consumption because the ship does not need to rely solely on an engine. The sails could reduce its lifetime emissions by 30%. Shipping industry generates an estimated 837 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions every year, and wind power can make a difference. So my thoughts on that is, yeah, that's cool. Wind power, woo.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just interesting of like history repeats itself. Kind of paradox, because it's like, oh, wind power, that's a thing we can harness. Yeah, they were harnessing it for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't see why we couldn't outfit cargo ships with like wind and solar and be fully electric
I thought we talked about
or
this
whatever.
though, that I would really, because I asked you, like, why?
I
Because it would take so much solar.
I
right?
think part of it is the technology is not there yet. We don't have batteries that would be capable of holding a big enough charge for long enough to be able to move something that big. Because if you think about it, you know, a big cargo ship like that probably weighs what? 16,000 tons, 18,000 tons, like they're huge. So the amount of power you would need, like electrical power you would need, granted you get so much more torque out of an electric motor versus a combustion motor, but the battery capacity alone, it would just be, it's just not feasible yet. I could see somewhere down the line it being feasible, like definitely.
Like, with the help of, like, the combination of, like, the wind, solar, the battery, right? Like, it would be helpful.
And I mean, even if along the lines of you did it where like it was an electric motor, but had like a diesel generator to help like replenish, like to help kind of generate the energy for those times when like you couldn't get solar, or like you were in a storm or something and you were running low on battery capacity, something to like help generate that electricity.
Yeah.
Because there's is it Edison Trucks up in Canada? They're actually building fully electric semi trucks, like logging trucks, and that's their power plant is a mix of electric and this diesel generator, that'll actually help like regenerate power when they're not using like the electric motors. It's actually pretty cool. So I think that same kind of function of if we can get, you know, cargo ships off of it, I mean think of all the emissions we would save. You know, granted, if everything switched to, I think we talked about this. You know, even if everything switched to like renewable energy overnight, like even like cargo ships and cars and like everything, it
like
still
it
might
did with
not be
COVID.
like enough,
Yeah.
but it might be enough to like help.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
Like what we talked about, like what happened with COVID.
yeah.
Like when everything
You
shut
know,
down,
and-
they noticed a huge difference.
Granted, it's not gonna happen. You know, we can say it is, but
Oh, you
oil
can't
companies
say
have.
that.
I don't think it's gonna happen quickly. Not
No,
with the
not
stranglehold that like
quickly.
oil companies have
But
over everything. You
I
know,
think
'cause
once we
they're
get all
never
these
gonna
old
allow it.
fucks out of these companies.
Yeah, the next 50 years, you know, they
Yeah,
all start
uh-huh.
dying. But I don't know. It's just crazy because like Europe seems like they're leagues ahead of us when it comes to like renewable. You know, a lot of their countries ran off renewable energy, and
Yeah.
so I think my excitement is more for like the sailing space. You know, I mean, if we could run kind of like UMA, like I mean, they're completely. They don't use any diesel at all. They're completely electric, and it seems to work well for them, despite what the naysayers might say.
The naysayers.
You know,
Fuck the naysayers.
yeah,
Ugh.
that's my green little rant
Green
for today.
Tech Aura segment concluded. I hope everyone learned something. I didn't. No.
Oh, thanks. Love you too.
No. There's just so much information. No, I did. I like the history. I didn't know that at all. Like tall ships and stuff, they really took off in like the 1700s.
I mean, even earlier, 14,
Oh, okay.
14th, 15th century.
Oh, well, yeah, 1492. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of from like probably the late 1300s through almost the 1800s. They were still predominantly our form of travel. Because, I mean, like, the steam engine wasn't invented until, like, early 1800s, I think. Because when did the Titanic sail? That was, like, one of the first big, like, steamships. And, I mean, that was even, like, late 19... Or, like, early... Wasn't that, like, late 1800s?
I don't know.
The Titanic?
We don't know when the Titanic happened.
Because you think Civil War was the 1860s, and we had steam power by then. Because ships were still steam power. But if you look at, like, the War of 1812, we were still... Sorry, history rant.
It's his favorite war.
We were,
1812.
you know, we were still tall ships.
Huh.
It was all still tall ships in, 1812. So it's crazy to think just in that 40 years, how much technology leaped.
Huh.
This
is a history podcast.
Yeah. Fuck sailing. It's a history podcast now.
All right. Can we move on?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, great talk.
See what I have to deal with?
I'm a gem. Alright, and I wanted to also pay tribute to Jimmy Buffett, R.I.P., our fellow sailor, which I did not know until he passed away. But
I really didn't either.
You didn't either?
No.
Are we, like, totally in the dark?
I mean, Jimmy just really wasn't our generation. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He was...
How old was he when he died? We looked it up.
Was it in his 70s?
70s?
Yeah.
Did he have
skin cancer?
Skin cancer. Because he was out in the sun all the time. So he had a sailboat named Drifter.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at his colors, his aura colors. I got, what I think blue purple, which, songwriter, artist, I mean... And from what I've heard of his music, very easygoing, go with the flow, Margaritaville.
Very laid back, very, like, island escapism.
Yeah. I should look up his birthday, because that would be interesting to look at his zodiac, too. I have some guesses. I'm sure other people do, too. But I'll look that up and get back to everybody. But yeah, just one of the few people in the spotlight that just didn't feel like he needed to be a part of the scene.
Normal society.
Yeah, and just would rather have been on his boat. But he loved music and he loved to write, so he had the best of both worlds. Alright, and then also, what else do we have here? Oh, last thing here. This is kind of, since we're just coming out of a new moon today. I think it's still today, but there's only like the today, and then it goes back into what is it, waning or waxing? I can't remember. I can't keep track of which one is first. So new moon, setting intentions.
Don't throw me under the
All
bus.
right, fine, I'll go first. So, during these few weeks that we've been off, just kind of doing our own thing, I kind of, I had a bunch of epiphanies and just kind of came to back to myself of like, okay, been avoiding, not avoiding doing this, but, and not getting discouraged, just getting discouraged, if anything, like, just with life and just not being focused and but so that's where I made a new intention, just refocusing of our mission and what we're trying to do, and it was just a little bit of a lull we had, and just easier to not be present sometimes, just because of whatever fears we have of the future. And so it's just easier to escape sometimes, but refocusing, because it's not all about us. It's about everything else too. And I really think that's why we're here on this earth, is to do good for ourselves and everything else that we can, make a difference. And so I am going to be refocused and be present in what we're trying to do this next month coming up, and that is my new moon intention. And also, so after I had that little realization, I I went into his office, your office, and couldn't wait to tell you about it. So I have my little numbers book that I go off of, what numbers mean, numerology, all that. And so I had that little meditation where I was like, okay, I'm going to refocus myself on this. And so then, of course, the number that I get is 48. It just turned to it, 48. And if y'all remember, that was the number of the slip that we got in my dream when we eventually moved to Friday Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that number means intention setting. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, come on. It's like I'm having a conversation with my people, my guides, constantly. And then the other number, which I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So before I looked up the numbers, I had like a little thought of like that quote, if you build it, they will come, which is from Field of Dreams, which I had never seen before. It's just like, I know that quote. So then I got the number also. After 48, I got, oh, what was it here?
Wasn't it 223?
It was...
Or 233? It was one of the two.
Hold, it was, yeah, 232.
Oh,
So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of really, I'm not picky with what I wear per se, but I really like to show off what's inside and put it outside with what I wear. I really like to display my personality, how I'm feeling during the day, whatever day, and put that into what I wear. So I really like Happy Earth because they have all these different styles, and they have athleisure wear now, which, I mean, I live in. They're all of their products, they're organically made materials. They have a whole plant-based athleisure line now. I mean, their sweatshirts look really cozy. We do have a blanket from them. It's really, really pretty. I mean, just very like tribally, and just it goes with just like our life. So with our code Third Eye Sailing, you can get 15% off your order. And by the way, every order you make, you can choose what your order partially goes to. So you can plant 15 trees, you can help save polar bear efforts, you can pick up a pound of trash. I mean, you know your money is going towards something good, but you're getting something cute in return. This is a good deal. We really like them over here. And, you know, fall is coming, people. Fall. And you want to be cozy. So get yourself a sweatshirt, get yourself a blanket, and get a cute sports bra that's reversible, because I think they have those. I think I just saw those. They have a reversible something. Lots of reversible things going on. It's the new thing. It's back. Reversibles. Go for it. Third Eye Sailing, 15% off. Support the show. Thanks, guys.
So, yeah. 48 and 232. 232 is build. So, like, like, come on. My guides' names, I think, are Alice, Tom, and Jackie. So I'm just like laughing at them, like, you guys are too much. So, and then that movie, Field of Dreams, we saw was on Netflix.
Yeah.
We didn't watch it yet. We should.
Maybe tonight we'll watch it.
I'm not a big baseball fan.
Bring out the wine. And...
Yes, we have
it's
two
not,
bottles of
it's
wine.
not. I mean, it's about baseball, but it's like not about baseball. Like at the same time,
It's not. It's just
it
like
is,
signs
but
upon signs.
Yeah,
So
I've seen it once. It's good.
we'll watch that tonight. Let you guys know.
It's a Kevin Costner, like one of the movies he's known for.
Yeah.
Is Field of Dreams.
Okay.
My cry.
Oh no. Your turn. Did you think about it? Because I warned you. I gave you some notice.
She did.
And he didn't think of anything.
No, I didn't during that.
You better
Sorry.
go right now. You got a pass with your little light.
Yeah, see what I have to do. I guess my intention setting for this new month is, I think, kind of going off what it was the last time we did this. It's kind of like letting things go in a way, in the way of like everything that's supposed to happen is gonna just happen, and I gotta kind of stop stressing about it.
So you can say, like, I am peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
because that's kind of the opposite. That's what I've been kind of going
Mhm.
toward too. Like, I am not stressed. Everything will work out the way it's
Mhm.
supposed to. So I am peaceful.
Yeah, and that's just more of just kind of going with the flow and stop stressing.
Because if we keep stressing about it, it's not gonna do us any good.
Mhm.
We have to like enjoy where we are.
Mhm. Be in the present.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also stay vigilant with our goals.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a fine line. I've
Yeah.
never had to walk this line so hard in my whole life. Because I think it's something that we really want. Like this podcast, this show, what we're trying to do, moving there, like it's all just come upon
Mhm.
us within the last year, since
Mhm.
we've almost been here a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it all just came together so fast. You know,
Mhm.
when we visited here, when we moved here.
You know, and it's funny because, you know, some of my coworkers are still like, yeah, he you know, went there on vacation and came back and like, I'm moving, and they're all like, what? Oh, okay.
All
like,
of our
I don't-
family, all of our friends, like, what?
Yeah, they're like, oh, okay, and like, some of my family wasn't, I guess, like my dad, like he was kind of surprised, but like at the same time he wasn't. I think he kind of knew that we weren't going to be staying where we were, you know, like in New York forever, even though it seemed like we were going to.
It's like the people that really knew us knew deep down, without even having to tell us, that we
Mhm.
weren't meant to stay
Mhm.
there.
You know, and like, and those are the people too that like when we talk about like moving onto the boat, you know, like my dad is, I think, the biggest cheerleader out of everybody,
Yeah.
like on my side for it. I think partially because he's super jealous.
Because he's wanted to do that.
Because it's something that he's wanted to do forever.
And you guys learned to sail together.
You know, and we learned to sail together, and that was, you know, our dream was talking about, you know, going and sailing away. You know, so I think for me, having him in my corner like that is, I don't know, it always makes me feel like, okay, someone at least understands, you know, and I can rant and rave and talk about boats all day long, and he won't get bored, you know, where other people may just kind of try to change the subject. So,
whether
yeah,
it's out
it's-
of not understanding or
Or
fear
fear,
for
or,
us, our
you know,
safety, and
it's I think it's a lot of, because all people hear are the horror stories.
yeah.
Right? That's all they hear of, like, you know, oh, boat sinking, and or, you know, you get stuck somewhere or whatever, and it's not really the case, you know. That's the thing, even with like YouTube sailors, like that's a lot of what these channels show is the mistakes and things breaking, and that's all you see on camera.
But that's what we
Because-
just talked about too, because
be-
that draws
But
clicks.
that's the thing, like that's what draws people in, is the disaster and the mayhem
drama and the
and the drama, because that's the kind of fucked up society that we are, I guess. that's how you have to draw people into the situation. You know, most people don't care of, oh, I had a great successful sale and
Yeah,
it's
that's
boring
boring.
and calm and
We're so happy. That's boring.
you know, like people don't care about that. They're not gonna watch your show or listen to your podcast because you're having a great time. They're gonna watch and listen for, you know, the fuck ups. So
People like to see growth.
yeah, and I guess, you know, the whole learn from your mistakes thing, I guess, is seeing growth, but it paints a really bad picture
Yeah.
about cruising or just living on a boat in general, because that's all you see on social media is, oh, this is broken, and people joke about how, you know, break out another 1,000
Break out another tool.
and you know, cruising is just doing boat work in exotic places, and you know, like your boat is broken and you just don't know it yet, kind of a thing. And like, yeah, I guess it is, but you can say that about everything. Sorry, I'm ranting. You know, you can say that about owning a house. You know, I would say house stands for break out another 10,000 because, you know, if you look at the cost between living on a boat and living in a house, it may be kind of comparable,
Yeah.
because maybe more things will break on a boat because you're in a smaller space. But it's going to be cheaper in retrospect of like, oh, with a house you need a new roof and that's automatically 20 grand. Or like with a boat, okay, maybe like, you know, maybe you have engine issues or maybe something super goes wrong, but at that point, like, you write the boat off and you get a new one. You know, if something major disasterly happens.
It's really interesting. It's just so interesting how what's the word I'm looking for? Like, diverse the spectrum is with our support system that we have. Like your dad, okay, he's one side where he, you know, he's always wanted to do this, so he totally gets it. And then like other people on your side who really don't fully understand, like do but don't, and still supportive, but like can only tolerate so much. And like I have people on my side who, if you explain the logistics of like how much better it is cost wise and how much money you save, and yes, there are risks, but there's risks with everything. So like if you go at it in like a logical standpoint to some people, they'll be able to reconcile with it easier. So
Not that it's about the money.
not that it's about the money.
Because it really isn't.
No.
Like, it is kind of.
I mean,
but
anybody can agree money.
Yeah.
More money gives you more freedom.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how the world works.
But
And-
it's kind of moved more into a, I think especially for you, just because in the beginning, that was kind of how I sold her on it. I'm like, oh, well, we'll be saving, you know, we won't be paying rent, we won't be, and she was like, oh, okay. And you know, I thought, to be honest, I haven't told you this, I thought it was gonna take more convincing,
really?
to be perfectly honest.
To
Like,
live on a boat?
yeah, like I really thought it was gonna take like more convincing, or it would get to a point where it would just be like, okay, I guess we just won't. You know, I don't know why I thought it would. I don't
think
know.
in the beginning when we first started sailing, I was getting really discouraged. And like, I just was so overwhelmed with all of the problems. Not even that we had that many, but like my anxiety and the uncertainties of all of it, everything involved, just I couldn't imagine having to do that all day, every day. And that's kind of why we sort of have decided, you know, if we ever do cruise full time and don't live in a marina, that's going to be a long time before that, because
and
that's
it'd probably be a
whole
different boat.
Yeah.
You know, like if we really want to do it, we'll probably get a bigger boat. Just because, not that there's anything wrong with this boat, but I
Blue
think
water, yeah. It would have to be a blue water.
I think more space would help. Something a bit more sturdy. You know, it's just, mean, this boat is great, and it's gonna do what we need it to do.
Yeah, it'll serve us well.
You know, and even if it's 20 years down the road, and we decide, oh, you know, when we're big and famous, and or I would say at least being able to make a living
Yeah,
off of
that's
this,
all we want.
off of this. I just, you know, it. I don't think any of my coworkers listen, but I just work is work, and yeah, I want to, I guess, you know, advance in my career a little bit.
It satisfies
you know,
your green.
It satisfies, yeah, my green techie, whatever. It's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but now it's like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't be locked down to something, especially now, like with really wanting to do this. Like, granted, with technology, you can work from anywhere, but
and that's we can't get into this.
yeah.
We can save this for next
we're
time.
gonna have to save it for next time because we're already kind of rambling.
Go really far. But we'll be back. We already have it scheduled for the 30th, another episode this month, and thanks all. We really appreciate it. Check out our affiliate ads, Amazon, Naked Wines, and Happy Earth with our codes. And bye.
All right, bye guys.